Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. It is really freezing cold here in West Tennessee. It is the middle of January. Of course, this video is going to be posted in a few weeks, but I've got to take care of this right now. The original tarp that I have on my chicken coop is no longer holding up. However, it did hold up for 2 years. It's just this past week it was snowing, then it rained, so all of that turned to ice, and now the weather is starting to become warmer, so it's now all starting to melt through all the holes that is in that tarp, and it's now coming into the chicken run. So I bought a new tarp. We are going to have to put that up there, but we're going to need to take off all of the snow and ice that's up on the tarp right now, and then we're going to have to find a way to hopefully slope or slant that tarp down so any future water can go onto the ground as opposed to settling within that chicken coop, because what it did was it made a bow on the inside of the chicken run because there is no secure fencing on the inner part of the chicken run. So it is only connected with chicken wire and zip ties, and it's not so secure holding a big concave thing of ice and snow and water. So we're going to get all of that out of there, put a new tarp up so that all the rains fall away from that and the chicken run stays dry. Now, the tarp that's up there right now is a light duty. It is one of those grizzly bear tarps. So I think I got that from either Tractor Supply or Walmart, and it was about $14.99. Yesterday I went to Tractor Supply and I got this big old heavy duty tarp, and it feels a lot thicker than that light duty tarp. So I'm really hoping that this will hold up for at least another 2 years, or at least until I can get my new chicken coop built. Right, back outside for another project, and thank goodness it is all starting to thaw and melt, because for a good week there we had freezing cold weather, snow, ice, no one could drive, everyone was calling off, all the stores were like bare, so good to get things back to normal. I want to show you what we're working with on top of this chicken run. Alright, so I just crawled up here with the ladder and I started ridding this space right here of ice and snow, and this is the big chunk chiseled away from this area right here so it wouldn't go into the coop. So before we get to putting the tarp over this and just remedying this situation, I'm going to take all this snow off as much as I can. All of this snow is going to be coming down too, so that's why we want to get the tarp up here before it starts to rain tonight. Okay, got that big piece off, and now I'm going to start working on the rest of this before we put the other tarp there. As you can see right now, the water is starting to melt and there are holes in that tarp. So what we want to get all of this off of there and get the new tarp up here before it starts flooding this run. Another thing is a lot of this is all starting to melt, so it's all starting to go on top of this tarp. So we got to get it cleaned like ASAP because it's going to rain for a whole week. Okay, so I just spent about 20 minutes getting all this stuff off. This stuff right here is a big, huge ice block, and because it's concave, I'm gonna get it all off of there before I put the other tarp over it, because I don't want all that to be trapped under there. I still don't know how I'm going to affix this tarp. I cannot get in the middle of here because this is the end of the dog panel. This whole thing right here is the fourth side to the dog panel. This side does not have anything underneath except for chicken wire connected with zip ties. ties, so it's not going to be able to hold me. I did go in my workshop and get this 2x12, and I tried to put it across here to see if I could step on that to use that as like a security for me to put the tarp into that wood, because that's exactly where the tarp was ripped out of before. But I can't get in there. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure something out. Okay, we finally got that big chunk off of there. It took a while. That stuff is starting to come down. I need to make a slope in this, put the other tarp up here. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Okay, right now I've got these two boards sticking up in here, trying to make like a little lean-to so that the water drips away from the pen, but it isn't. It is all coming into the pen. I am gonna have to try to figure this out because it's gonna rain for the next 7 days and I don't want them to be miserable, so I might have to put another stick up there because I can't get the tarp up there right now. I'm gonna have to figure something else out. This absolutely sucks. It is dripping. I cannot get it to lean. I can't put the tarp over it. I've got all of these in here trying to make it lean, and it's still all dripping in here, and it's gonna rain for the next 7 days, so I don't know what to do. All right, this is a mess. I don't know what to do about this. This whole coop is gonna flood within the next 7 days because I can't get the tarp up there. This whole section is unstable because there is no fence on it. It's all chicken wire and zip ties, which is all coming undone as well because of all of the ice and snow that was on there. Now it's about to rain for 7 days. I don't know what to do about this. There are holes everywhere. Okay, I decided to take back the gray tarp that I had, and it was a mess out here trying to put this thing up, so I couldn't film it, but I did put a second tarp up there, folded it in half, and basically nailed it to the underneath of that area, the roof up there. I can't get into the middle. That's why I left that blank. It's clear, so when water runs off that top part, it comes down here, as you can see, and if it drops past that point, it'll fall down that way. And then I put bungees here to help keep the tarps down so that wind didn't make these fly up. Put 2 on each side. This is the other side, and basically bungeed that down too. It all still falls from the top. Okay, now inside here, how I fixed this, all of the water is running down now because of these pieces of wood holding up the tarp. So it's able to kind of slope down in a way. There's sometimes a couple bubbles here, but for the most part, it's all sloping down. I even put these pieces of wood right there so that these right here could be sloped, because when it wasn't, it was kind of sagging. That's gonna have to do for now. The girls are moving around the pieces of wood, which are fine. I'm moving around the pieces of wood, and eventually when I make them their new coop, I'll take all this down and it'll just be a better coop, and I won't have to keep fixing this one. And this whole section right here is going to be where I'm going to build the new coop. At first I was going to have it just in this section here, but I think I'm going to expand it into this whole section right here. So I'm still working on that, saving for it and all that, so that's where that's going to go. And then I'll be able to take down all these tunnels because they'll have a lot more room and greenery. I'm going to be building greenery gardens around it so that the chickens can have something to munch on, because they're not going to be set free. They're going to be free range, but they're not going to be out on the land. That's where I'm going to be putting the coop, but until then, this little setup is going to have to do. And when this door isn't here, this tarp end, I pull it this way and bungee it down here so that the water can drip down, because that's what that big thing was that I took down from the top of there. It had sunken in that part because the water didn't have a drain off area, but that's because I hadn't put a bungee there or anything like sloping that water down. But now that it is, I just have to take that piece of tarp off every time. I have to take the bungee off and then flip the tarp up so that I can get in the coop. All right, now eventually I am going to be getting my new chicken coop built. I am still working on all of, it's not a traditional chicken coop, so it's gonna have a lot of band-aids and cover-ups and that's just what I'm gonna have to do until I get another one built, because I'm not looking to spend a lot of money repairing the one that I have now for years to come. So we're just gonna keep putting little band-aids on it. I am glad that I had that tarp. I do have another 1 or 2 tarps, so I was able to get like $36 back from that new tarp that I bought. I didn't want to have to use that if I didn't need to. So I hope you guys are enjoying my channel. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and click the notifications bell so you can receive a notification every time I post a new video, which is every Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. It is frosty cold in the West Tennessee.